Hey everyone, how is it going? So, been a while since I've posted. I don't really have much excuse. I've just been busy with work and I'm really tired, man. But like a phoenix, I hath returned from the ashes to talk about openings, gambits, and all that good stuff again. So, how exciting. Now, normally I am a C4 player. I play the English all the time, and I've been playing it that much that I've become just really bored with chess. So, I've been mixing things up a little bit, and while it's not the most exciting for most people, I've been playing some E4. Woo! Now, time and time again, when you play E4, you're going to be met with C5, the Sicilian. And there is so many lines to remember for the Sicilian. But I've been playing the Smith-Morra Gambit. Less to remember, it's a gambit, so it's quite fun, it's very aggressive, and there's a few cheeky little traps in there as well, which I am all about. So, the Smith-Morra, for those of you who don't know, they come down with the C5 and we meet them right in the middle with the D4, hoping that they're going to go ahead and take. Now, this isn't quite the gambit just yet. The gambit is coming up with that cheeky little C3. He takes, we then take back with the horsey, and we're left in this position here. Now, you can see we have the horsey out, we have the pawn in the middle, we've got all of this movement for all of our other pieces, it's brilliant. And black has everything still back here. I love a good gambit, and yeah, like I say, this has been really good fun. So, what I'm going to do, we'll have a little look at some of the traps, some of the, the normal moves you're going to see. I'm going to start with, like, the ideal setup, so we'll take all of black's pieces off the board, apart from the king, because I can't get rid of that, and just show you what we're kind of aiming for, and then we'll just see what happens from there. All very exciting. Right, like absolute magic, I have removed all of the black pieces apart from the king. Ignore the king moves, we're just looking at the ideal setup for white with the Smith-Morra. So we've gone ahead and we've taken, black does whatever move that they go ahead and do. For now, we're just going to be moving the king. And we want to just carry on developing as normal, get your other horsey into play. From there, we are looking at getting our light squared bishop out, making room to get castled off to the king's side, and we normally go for somewhere like here on the c4. Staring across, ooh, whoopsie daisy, staring across this diagonal. The main thing is kind of staring down on that key f7 pawn there. We'll move the king again, and from here we can just get castled off. Now, there's a very common move set that we do from here, so let's just move the king, and that is bringing the queen up to here onto the e2. Let's move the king back, and that way it allows us to bring out the rook onto the d1, staring down on this lovely open file. As we know from previous videos, rooks love open files. And then from here, let's just move that back. We'll be bringing out the bishop. Now, it's going to be very kind of game dependent. Normally, it's going to be one of these three squares here. So let's just bring it out to here to the f4. Move the king back one more time. And the other rook goes onto this open file. And you can see what a solid setup this is. Like I say, again, this is ideal world. But we have lovely control of the diagonals, we have these guys on the open files, these little horses ready to spring into action whenever they need, and we're castled off nice and safe. Absolutely ideal. Right, so let's have a little look at it in action, and some of the super fun traps, very, very common mistakes you're going to see from black here. So if you remember, it was the e4, c5, Sicilian, excuse me. We then come up with the d4, he takes, we offer up the pawn, he takes, and then we come out with the horsey to the c3. We're now in the Smith-Morra. Now, normally what you're going to see from here is something like their horsey coming out to the c6, like so. Normal developmental move, and if you remember our kind of standard order of operation, we bring out our horsey like so. Now, normally what you're going to see is them come down with something like the pawn on the d6, just opening up the bishop here. Obviously, you can't bring it right down to the centre because we're just going to take back, so d6 is the most common thing you're going to see from here. And if you remember, again, from our normal kind of order of operations there, we're going to be bringing out the bishop to here, to the c4. And the main reason for that was so we're staring across this diagonal, especially at this key f7 pawn. This is going to come in very important very soon. Excuse me. Sorry, I am bugging with cold at the moment. Now, something you see really, really often in this position is black has opened up the bishop and he wants to get it out. So he comes out like so, going for the pin. Now, pay attention to that analysis bar on the side there. Let's just, whoopsie daisy, let's just bring it back a little bit. Oh, whap, whap. Now, main reason for this, if you remember, that foreshadowing from before, this bishop staring down at this key pawn, because we can just go ahead and take it, mate. He takes back with the king, and then we can just hop up our horsey like so, popping him in check. He hasn't really got many moves here. Normally what you're going to see is him just retreat back. I mean, if he was to come to there, it would make no odds because the queen is coming up like so, like a wrecking ball, taking the piece, and we are now 2.2 ahead. It's basically just game over for black. We are really well developed. You can see we're going to be getting castled off to the king's side there. Black's lost all of his castling opportunities. We've got the queen out, we've got the horsey out, we've got this guy's going to be getting out in a bit, and we're going to be getting the rooks onto the open files. It's game over for black, man. It's game over. Absolutely wonderful. Let's just bring it back to here. Now, there's some other things that you may see. You may see him come out with the horsey to the f6. And again, there are some fun traps here. So what we're going to do from here is just push that pawn forwards like so. And there's a few ways that black can play this. If he goes ahead and takes with the pawn, then we just queen straight up, take his queen, and then black has a choice. Does he either take back with his horsey and then lose that kind of development that he's got there? Or does he take back with the king and lose his castling opportunities? Either way, it puts us in an absolutely fantastic position there. Or alternatively, you may see him take back with the horsey. Now, this is something that you tend to see at either lower levels or in tight time controls. Now, again, watch that analysis bar at the side there. Whop, whop. And main reason for that is we take back like so, and if he goes ahead and captures back with the pawn, we're not going to take his queen. See if you can find the trap. Pause it, give yourself a second. I'll have a quick sip of my coffee. Oh, it's cold. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is right. We go ahead with this guy on that key pawn there and take. He has no choice. He can't do anything. He can't move to there. He has to take. And then that is a free queen for us. How very exciting. And once again, we've just completely won the game. Absolutely brilliant. Now, you do have to be careful. Move order is very, very important. So if you remember going back, so let's go for the c6 comes out the horsey. We develop off our other horsey to the f3. They go for something like the e6. Like I say, you could see the d6, maybe you'll see the e6. We get out our bishop like before to the c4. Horsey comes out to the f6, we get castled off to safety, and he comes across with something like the queen to the c7 there, staring down at this h2 pawn. Now, if you remember before, what we were kind of aiming for is the queen coming across to the e2, then getting out the rook to the d1 there. Now, let's have a little look. If we don't do that, so we bring across the queen to the e2, and then the horsey comes down. And you can see what black's trying to do. He's putting on a lot of pressure, and it can be very, very tempting to go, hey, get out of there, and then push up that pawn. And you see that analysis bar? Let's just rewind one more time. Slow motion. Oh my god. It is essentially game over for us because there is a very, very common trap that they can get you with, which I have been caught out with more than once, unfortunately, and that is horsey coming down like so. Now, what are we going to do in this position? Not too much, really, because if we jump across and take, that is just game over. If we move the queen out of the way, like so, he's just going to take, and it is game over. There is pretty much nothing we can do. Realistically, all we can do to try and save the game, take the horsey, he then takes, and we're just a queen down, mate. It is bad news. However, if we follow that kind of standard order of operations, he comes down like so. Keep an eye on the analysis bar there. We bring across the rook to the d1 there. Everything stays as it should be in perfect equilibrium. Everyone's happy and we can just carry on developing as normal there. Right, let's just have a quick look if he declines the gambit. So we will go for the Sicilian. He goes ahead and takes, and then we go for the c3, but the little rapscallion doesn't go ahead and take it. He does something like pushes forward the d3. Well, all you do from there, clearly, you're just going to take back with your bishop like so, and he brings out the horsey, and then from here, I would just push forwards that pawn. Get it up to here, that way we are controlling all of these squares here, gives a little bit of room for our horsey to get out, and really, we're just going to be kind of developing in a similar kind of way. So we'll just push through a few quick moves. He develops like so, get out your horses, castle off to safety, get out your other bishop like so, kind of staring down. This pawn's going to become a bit of a weak pawn, so just trying to put a little bit of pressure on there. And then from here, move the queen across, get the bishops out, and we're left in this kind of position here. Again, black doesn't have to make those moves, but it's just showing you the kind of, we're going to be making very, very kind of similar moves there. So if he doesn't take, it's not the end of the world. We're going for a very similar kind of position there. These two pawns, very, very nice and well protected by the bishop there. Bishop isn't as active now, it's more in a kind of like defending role, but we can just start bringing it in, you know, once we start pushing the pawns forward, you know, we're getting it a little bit more involved along the diagonal there. But again, it's going to be very game dependent there. And there we have it. That is the Smith-Morra in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed it. It's nice making a video again. Again, sorry it's been a while since I've posted. It's just, you know, life's busy and, you know, is what it is. Main thing is just remembering those kind of key moves and that key setup. So once you've offered up the pawn, get out your horses, get out the light square bishop to the c4, staring down like so, castle off to safety, do the little dance with the queen and the rook, get your dark square bishop out, and then bring out your other rook onto the other open file and get yourself in this lovely setup. And it is absolutely brilliant. Honestly, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I hope you do too. Again, if there's anything you want to see, just let me know and I'll happily cover it. I'm meaning to do some mid-game stuff because I haven't really covered much mid-game stuff and someone did ask a while ago. So I will do some mid-games if there's any openings, gambits, or whatever chess-related stuff you want me to cover. By all means, just pop it down in the comments and I'll gladly do it. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTuber stuff. And yeah, you dudes, peace out and I'll catch you all later.